Brad was the first person to take me to the club when I was like when I was like 16, and he took me to the club a couple of times. My mama found out, she cussed him out, but it was all love after that. Like that's the kind of relationship that we had.
How Bradley Beal almost cost Jayson Tatum his NBA career. At just 24 years old, Jayson Tatum is one of the most exciting and potential-filled superstars in the NBA. Fresh off of his first trip to the NBA Finals, Tatum is expected to be in the MVP conversation heading into the 2021-22 season, as he has quickly developed into a dynamic scorer who can give you 30+ on any given night. Before bursting onto the scene in the NBA, though, Tatum was like any other hardworking kid aspiring to play ball at the next level. Lucky for him, he was blessed with the best role model he could have asked for, Bradley Beal. Beal, a 3-time NBA All-Star and one of the best scoring guards of the last 10 years, happens to have a lot in common with Tatum. Both were born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, and both attended Chaminade Prep School. Basketball was always priority number 1 for both Beal and Tatum as well. Despite being 5 years apart in age, Beal and Tatum would form a strong bond, as Beal assumed the role of big brother for Jayson through young Tatum's middle and high school years. Naturally, Jayson Tatum followed closely behind Beal, who laid out the blueprint for how to get to the NBA. Because of Bradley Beal and the mentoring that he did, Tatum understood what kind of work ethic it took to reach the level that must be reached in order to play at the highest level. Speaking on his experience growing up with Beal as his role model, Tatum said, "He was living proof. Getting to see him every day in the classroom, working out after practice, him dropping me off after school every day, and going to the games and seeing him put on a show, it was the perfect scenario for me. I want to get where he's getting to. I get to see his everyday routine up close." Tatum talked about how in the summertime, when he was on break from school, Beal would randomly show up at his house early in the morning just to get a workout in. Tatum and Beal would spend day after day together just to continually improve on the game they both loved. When Bradley Beal made it into the NBA, he didn't forget about his little bro, Jayson Tatum. In fact, he would arrange for 16-year-old Tatum to travel to DC to work out and hang out.
No, my big brother, man, appreciate you. You know it's all love.
That's dope.
Yeah, you're like getting emotional.
Yeah, a little bit.
Beal taught Tatum a lot growing up, including a few grown man lessons that Tatum might not have been ready for. Tatum talks about some of the most memorable and funny moments of his time with Beal growing up. "Brad was the first person to take me to the club when I was like 16. He took me to the club a few times," Tatum said.
Brad was the first person to take me to the club when I was like 16, and he took me to the club a couple of times. My mama found out, she cussed him out, but it was all love after that. Like that's the kind of relationship that we had. Like my mom cussed Brad out in front of my house one day, like, "You got my son at the club, he still got stuff to lose, blah, blah, blah." But it was just the principle. Like she wasn't really mad, but she couldn't act like she was cool with it. Yeah. But Brad was the first person to take me to the club. Like, yeah, we did it all.
16 years old? Can you imagine 16-year-old Jayson Tatum pulling the ladies at Rose Bar with his mentor Bradley Beal as a wingman? Needless to say, not exactly everyone was thrilled about this when they found out. My mama found out. She cussed him out, but it was all love after that, said Tatum. Tatum's mother obviously disapproved of this kind of mentorship for her son, but she couldn't deny all of the positive impact that Bradley Beal had on her son. The trips to the club weren't getting Tatum closer to the NBA, but the constant contact with Beal allowed Tatum to see what kind of work had to be put in to make it. Tatum talks about how Beal taught him that a lot of players practiced every day, so he had to put in 2 or even 3 practice sessions some days. Tatum applied a lot of the lessons he was taught by Beal, and it showed in his play. As a junior, Tatum was putting up big numbers, averaging 25.9 points and 11.7 rebounds per game. His performances, along with his 6'8" frame, was already attracting the attention of the biggest and best college programs in the nation. Following his junior year, Tatum, who had the ability to attend practically any school of his choice, chose to play his college ball for Coach K and Duke. His high school production continued to climb for his senior year. Tatum averaged 29.6 points and 9.1 boards per game his senior year, and was ranked as the 4th overall best recruit of his graduating class, behind Josh Jackson, Harry Giles, and Lonzo Ball. Jayson Tatum's first and only season playing college ball was a huge success. Tatum put up 16.8 points and 7.3 rebounds per game with the Blue Devils. NBA scouts were all over Tatum, who had proven to be NBA ready after just one season. The Celtics drafted Tatum with the number 3 overall pick in the 2016 draft, and he has been ascending ever since. The speed and physicality of the NBA took some time to get used to for Tatum, who was just scoring 13.9 points per game as a rookie. But the small forward came alive in the playoffs in year 1, scoring 28 and 21 in pivotal playoff matchups. Tatum would continue to grow and develop, nearly doubling his score output after just 2 seasons. By year 4, Tatum was among the NBA's best scorers, scoring 26.4 points per game. Now, fresh off of leading his team to the finals, he is among the best small forwards in the game, and is set to have yet another monster year in 2022. But does Tatum have enough to push his team to title-winning levels, something his mentor Bradley Beal has yet to accomplish? Or would he have to leave Boston to increase his chances at winning the championship? Let us know what you think about these questions and the unique relationship between Brad Beal and Tatum in the comments down below.